Touched by an Angel, 1994 to 2003, brought hope, faith, and inspiration to millions throughout its 9-year run. Through heartfelt stories and uplifting messages, the show became a source of comfort for countless souls. However, behind the glowing success of this beloved series lay the real-life tragedies of some of its cast members, stories filled with darkness, sorrow, and even haunting deaths. While on screen, angelic characters delivered light and salvation, in reality, some actors struggled with their own shadows. Devastating illnesses, personal tragedies, and battles with pain and loss cast a dark cloud over their lives. Some passed away with their careers still unfinished, while others were caught in the harsh and unforgiving twists of fate, leaving behind stories that shocked and saddened their fans. In this article, we delve into the heartbreaking truths behind one of television's most cherished shows. Lives filled with tragedy, unexpected losses, and untimely deaths, all forming a stark contrast to the themes of hope and redemption that Touched by an Angel so beautifully conveyed. Della Reese was born in 1931, a woman of extraordinary talent whose deep, resonant voice and commanding presence made her an unforgettable force both on screen and in music. As Tess, the wise and compassionate angelic supervisor in Touched by an Angel, she guided lost souls with a firm but loving hand, becoming a maternal figure to audiences worldwide. But beyond the warmth she exuded on television, Reese's real life was marked by profound trials. Raised in Detroit, she endured a turbulent childhood, losing her mother at a young age and facing financial hardships. Despite her success as a gospel and jazz singer, her personal life was often marred by heartache, from marriages, one of which ended in divorce, and the devastating loss of her daughter, Della Reese, to a brain tumor in 2002. This tragedy, combined with her own health struggles, including diabetes and multiple near-fatal hospitalizations, left an undeniable toll. Her final years were fraught with declining health, and in 2017, she passed away at the age of 86. While her legacy as an entertainer remains, behind the angelic portrayal was a woman who knew all too well the weight of grief and suffering. Suzanne Douglas was born in 1957, a woman of immense talent whose powerful presence brought depth to every role she played. In Touched by an Angel, she appeared as Brianna Springbelt, adding her signature grace and authenticity to the series. Best known for her leading role in The Parenthood and standout performances in Tap and When They See Us, Douglas was a respected actress, but her personal life was not without struggles. Despite a seemingly happy marriage to neuroradiologist Roy Jonathan Cobb, she faced the pain of losing her mother at a young age, a loss that shaped much of her life. Behind her radiant smile, she carried private battles, including a long but quiet fight against cancer. On July 6, 2021, she passed away at the age of 64, succumbing to complications of pancreatic cancer. Though she was known for portraying strong, resilient women, her own fight was waged in silence, her passing a devastating loss to those who admired her talent and grace. John Dye was born in 1963, a man whose boyish charm and gentle demeanor made him a perfect fit for the role of Andrew, the Angel of Death, in Touched by an Angel. Over the years, his portrayal of the compassionate, understanding guide to the afterlife resonated deeply with fans, offering comfort even in the face of death. But in real life, Dye himself struggled with unseen burdens. Though his career spanned roles in Tour of Duty and The Young Riders, he never quite found the level of fame that some of his contemporaries enjoyed. A deeply private man, he never married and kept his personal relationships largely out of the public eye. Friends described him as kind but lonely, a man who carried an unspoken sadness. On January 10, 2011, he was found dead at his home in San Francisco, reportedly due to heart failure at the young age of 47. Though officially ruled as natural causes, speculation arose that years of health issues and personal struggles had contributed to his untimely passing. The actor who had spent years portraying death with tenderness and empathy had ultimately left the world too soon, leaving behind a sorrowful irony that haunted those who loved him. Celeste Holm was born in 1917, a luminous star of Hollywood's golden age, whose grace and talent made her a legend on stage and screen. In Touched by an Angel, she portrayed Hattie Green, a role that reflected her signature elegance and warmth. Best known for her Oscar-winning performance in Gentleman's Agreement and her unforgettable turn in All About Eve, Holmes' career spanned decades, yet her personal life was a tumultuous storm of strained relationships and financial troubles. Married 5 times, her final union with Frank Basile, a man 45 years her junior, caused a bitter rift between her and her children. The marriage, mired in legal battles and accusations over finances, drained her both emotionally and financially. In her final years, she suffered from Alzheimer's and was largely estranged from her family, living in near isolation. On July 15, 2012, she passed away at the age of 95 in her Manhattan home. Once the toast of Broadway and Hollywood, her last days were overshadowed by loneliness and discord, a heartbreaking contrast to the glamour of her early years. Charles Rocket was born in 1949, a man with a quick wit and an irreverent charm that made him a standout in every role he played. As Adam, one of the original angels of death in Touched by an Angel, he brought a dry humor to a subject often treated with solemnity, making his brief but memorable appearances feel all the more human. But behind his sharp comedic timing and natural charisma was a man who carried his own burdens. Rocket first gained fame as a cast member on Saturday Night Live, but his career took a sharp downturn after an infamous on-air profanity incident that led to his dismissal. Though he continued acting in supporting roles in films like Dumb and Dumber and Hocus Pocus, his career never quite regained its former momentum. His personal life, too, was filled with turbulence. While he remained married to his wife, Beth, for decades, those close to him knew of his struggles with disillusionment and depression. On October 7, 2005, Rocket was found dead in a field near his home in Connecticut, his throat slit in what was officially ruled a suicide. The shocking nature of his death left friends and fans alike reeling, a tragic end for a man whose life had been devoted to making others laugh. Patty Duke was born in 1946, a prodigious talent whose career began in childhood but was shadowed by turmoil. As Dr. Jean in Touched by an Angel, she played a character of intelligence and compassion, a reflection of the depth she brought to all her roles. From The Miracle Worker, which won her an Academy Award at just 16, to The Patty Duke Show, which made her a household name, Duke's career seemed golden. But beneath the surface, she battled demons few knew about. Diagnosed later in life with bipolar disorder, she endured years of erratic behavior, failed marriages, and public breakdowns. Her relationships were often turbulent, for marriages, including a highly publicized and brief union with rock promoter Michael Tell, which left questions surrounding the paternity of her son, actor Sean Astin. She eventually found peace in her final marriage to Michael Pierce, yet the damage of past traumas lingered. On March 29, 2016, Duke died suddenly of sepsis caused by a ruptured intestine, a painful and unexpected end at the age of 69. Though she spent her later years advocating for mental health awareness, her life remained a testament to the thin line between triumph and tragedy, light and darkness. Paul Winfield was born in 1939, a towering figure in Hollywood whose deep, authoritative voice and dignified presence made him a beloved character actor. As Sam, another angel of death in Touched by an Angel, he played the role with wisdom and warmth, offering comfort to those facing their final moments. His career was marked by groundbreaking performances, including an Oscar-nominated turn in Sounder and his iconic portrayal of Martin Luther King Jr. in King. Yet, despite his professional triumphs, Winfield's personal life was often a quiet battleground. He was a deeply private man, carefully guarding his long-term relationship with architect Charles Gillen Jr., at a time when Hollywood was far less accepting. When Gillen succumbed to bone cancer in 2002, Winfield was left devastated, his grief compounding his own worsening health. Struggling with obesity and diabetes, he suffered a fatal heart attack on March 7, 2004, at the age of 64. Though he left behind an impressive legacy, those who knew him best understood that his final years were marked by sorrow and loss, his passing a quiet end to a life filled with both triumph and tragedy. Ossie Davis was born in 1917, a man whose rich, resonant voice and commanding presence made him one of the most respected actors of his generation. In Touched by an Angel, he portrayed Erasmus Jones, a wise and compassionate figure, embodying the depth and dignity he carried throughout his career. Beyond the series, Davis was a trailblazer in Hollywood, known for his roles in Do the Right Thing and Malcolm X, as well as his work as a playwright and activist. But his personal life was not without hardship. He was married to fellow actress Ruby Dee, a partnership that endured for over 5 decades, yet their open marriage, an unconventional choice, led to its own set of emotional complexities. Davis spent much of his life fighting against racial injustice, but the toll of activism and age began to wear on him. On February 4, 2005, he was found dead in a Miami hotel room at the age of 87. The official cause was natural causes, yet the circumstances of his passing, alone in a room meant for rest between projects, left an air of melancholy over his departure. He was a man who had spent his life using his voice for change, only to leave the world in silence. Valerie Bertinelli was born in 1960, a woman whose smile and girl-next-door charm made her a beloved television sweetheart. As Gloria, a quirky and inquisitive angel introduced in the later seasons of Touched by an Angel, she added a fresh dynamic to the show's celestial ensemble. Her career began early, skyrocketing to fame as Barbara Cooper on One Day at a Time, but her personal life was far from the idyllic sitcom world she inhabited. Her marriage to rock legend Eddie Van Halen was marked by passionate highs and crushing lows, with infidelity and substance abuse creating rifts that never fully healed, even after their divorce. Despite moving on and remarrying businessman Tom Vitale, that relationship, too, ended in heartbreak with a public and messy divorce in 2022. Losing Van Halen to cancer in 2020 left her shattered, forcing her to confront old wounds and the complicated nature of love and loss. While she has reinvented herself as a best-selling author and television host, her journey remains one of resilience, battling body image struggles, public scrutiny, and the ghosts of past relationships, all while striving to find joy in the next chapter of her life. Cloris Leachman was born in 1926, a woman whose talent knew no bounds, shifting effortlessly between drama and comedy with a fearless spirit. As Ruth in Touched by an Angel, she played a celestial being with a no-nonsense attitude, a reflection of the sharp wit she was known for in real life. With an Oscar for The Last Picture Show and multiple Emmys for The Mary Tyler Moore Show and Malcolm in the Middle, she was one of the most decorated actresses in television history. But behind her brilliance lay a tumultuous personal life. Her marriage to director George Englund was marked by infidelity and heartache, and though they remained close after their divorce, their years together were filled with challenges. Her children, particularly her son Brian, struggled with addiction, a pain she carried throughout her later years. Even as she continued working well into her 90s, time eventually caught up with her. On January 27, 2021, she passed away at the age of 94 due to complications from a stroke and COVID-19. Though she lived a long and accomplished life, those who knew her best understood that behind her laughter was a woman who had endured great loss, her final years marked by both resilience and sorrow. Rue McClanahan was born in 1934, a woman whose charm and comedic brilliance made her a beloved television icon. Best known for her role as the vivacious Blanche Devereaux in The Golden Girls, she also made a memorable appearance in Touched by an Angel as Lila Winslow, bringing her signature warmth and wit to the role. But off-screen, McClanahan's life was far from the light-hearted escapades of her on-screen personas. She was married 6 times, each relationship filled with its own share of heartbreak, betrayal, and disappointment. Her personal life was a whirlwind of passion and pain, leaving her with a deep longing for stability she never quite found. In 2010, after years of struggling with health issues, including breast cancer and a triple bypass surgery, she suffered a devastating stroke and passed away at the age of 76. Despite the laughter she brought to millions, her final years were marked by illness and solitude, a stark contrast to the vibrant, flirtatious woman the world knew and adored. Roma Downey was born in 1960, an Irish actress whose serene beauty and gentle presence made her the perfect choice to portray Monica, the compassionate yet sometimes naive angel in Touched by an Angel. Her portrayal of the character across 211 episodes turned her into a beloved television icon, offering messages of faith and redemption to millions. But beyond the celestial glow of her on-screen persona, Downey's life was marked by sorrow early on, losing her mother to a heart attack when she was just 10 years old, an event that shaped her deeply. In love, she endured heartbreak, including the painful end of her marriage to actor Leland Orser. However, her story took a brighter turn when she found happiness with reality television mogul Mark Burnett, whom she married in 2007. Together, they built a media empire focused on faith-based content, including the Bible miniseries, but their marriage, like any Hollywood power couples, has faced its share of scrutiny and speculation. Today, she remains a successful producer and author, but despite her achievements, her journey has been one of loss, resilience, and an ongoing search for peace beyond the screen. What do you think about the lives, careers, and passing of the actors from Touched by an Angel? Who do you remember the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to stay updated with our latest videos.